What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, Tesla gave me a loaner vehicle in place of my Plaid, so I decided we'll go ahead and take a look at it because it's one that I've never had before. In fact, I've always kind of hated them. But now that we have one, I can give you my honest review. And here it is. I believe this is a 2020 Tesla Model Y. It's a dual motor, long range, and I have forever made fun of the Model Y. Why? I think it looks... it just looks weird. I don't know if they consider this an SUV or if this is considered more of a crossover. My guess is this has got to be some kind of a crossover. I've heard people tell me, though, that this is an SUV. This is not an SUV, guys. Not at all. What I find so odd about it is just the shape. It's very narrow, but it is very tall. It looks like a chicken egg. It's exactly what I see looking at it. It looks like something very big came over here, squatted down, and, crapped out an egg in my yard. That's what I see. Now, this one's a little rough, guys. These are the loaner cars. This one's real rough. It's all dented up, and there's paint missing on the back. I don't know what people do to these loaner cars, but they get treated so badly. I always treat other people's vehicles with the same type of respect that I would treat my own. Yes, I like to get on the throttle and play with them and have some fun, but I never abuse them or damage them. I would never do that to somebody else's vehicle, whether it's a company car or an individual's car. You guys, feel free to hate on me in the comments below. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have a Model Y. They probably love this thing. It's just not for me. This is one I can assure you I would never buy. Now, it is white on white. I love the white interior. All right, I do. It's something that I've had to get used to. The Model 3 Performance that they loaned me when I had my other Model S in service had a white interior as well. I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it, but I'm positive now I actually really like it. It looks so clean. I mean, it definitely gives it a more premium look, a more luxurious look. White, but then black, but then white, but then black. I don't know. I think I'd like to see a little more white in here just to brighten up the rest of the interior. But overall, pretty nice. Definitely a lot of leg room in the back. I've got my seat back pretty far, and as you can see, I can climb in. And I got room. Like, my knees are not hitting, you know what I mean? I'm not popping into the seat. If I sit normally, I've got enough room here. It's fine. I like it. But here's what gets me is the headroom is absolutely crazy in here, guys. There's a lot of headroom in this. And that's the part I just don't understand. If you wanted to make it taller, great, but maybe you could have made it a little bit wider as well. It's bizarre to me. So obviously you do have a lot of cargo space back here. I mean, compared to the Model S, definitely seems to be more room. I don't know what's under here. Oh, wow. I didn't know that was there. Okay. So there is a ton of room and more under here. And I haven't looked at the Frunk yet. Boy, somebody had a... They don't give these things to you clean either. There's literally dog hair all over the place. Of course, it looks like the seats... Is it? Oh, there we go. Well, that one went down. The other one, there we go. And I assume they don't come back up unless you go in there and actually lift them up. So when you got them folded down, I've been watching this guy. I can't remember his YouTube channel, but I mean, he's really entertaining. And he actually lives in his Model Y. I think he's out in California somewhere. He used to work for Tesla, and they did some layoffs, and he lost his job, he lost his house, and now he lives in one of these. And I'm looking at him like, good Lord, I couldn't imagine. But, I mean, there is plenty of room for stuff back here. But it needs to be wider, in my opinion. And why is it so tall? Being tall is what makes it look so freaking weird. Now, I haven't seen the Frunk yet, so I'll be curious to see what kind of space we have up there. Let's go ahead and open that real quick. And let's see what kind of room she's got in the front. Since it's a dual motor, I assume it's not going to be a whole lot. You could probably fit you know, one carry-on and a few other little miscellaneous items, like maybe a go bag or something, you know. Pearl white color. I like it. I do. Now, one of the things that I noticed as soon as I started driving this was, compared to the Plaid, obviously, a little lacking in the power department, but I thought my Plaid had rattles, guys. I thought my Plaid made noise. Oh my goodness. This is one I could not deal with. This one makes way too much noise. So here it is. It's the Model Y long-range dual motor, 75,000 miles on the odometer. Obviously, full self-driving computer, software version 12. Full self-driving is 12.5.4.1. I think this is the same that I have on my 2021 Plaid. So, I mean, overall, everything works and looks very similar to the way everything does on my Plaid. However, I've noticed there's no wireless charging here, and I don't know. I kind of wanted to pull this pad up. Does it not? It doesn't come up? No, I guess not. Oh, it lifts up. So it does have a charger here. Right there. Plugs into a USB-C. I don't like the way that works at all. Anyway, wireless charging does not work. I can set my phone on it, which I'll do right now, and you can clearly see the phone does not charge. All right, now I do have a case, but it is a wireless charging compatible case because I do wireless charging in all my other vehicles, and it charges just fine. But in this particular car, you know, it doesn't seem to matter how I maneuver it. It won't charge. So anyway, let me get buckled up. Let's take this thing for a quick ride. So I don't know what the original range would have been on this, but I can tell you that currently it was 100% charged up when I got it, and it had about 270 miles of range. So somebody can drop a comment below and tell me what the range when new was on this thing. I'm gonna tell you, 270 miles is not bad, guys. I think any EV that gives you over 200 miles of range is plenty, unless you're going on like a really long road trip. Then you're gonna want more than 200 miles. But even then, 200 miles will get you where you need to go. You're just gonna have to stop a little bit more. Ride quality is great. In fact, this thing actually rides better than my Plaid. And the reason why? Well, it's simple. My Plaid, since I bought it, has had a nasty vibration in the back, like a wheel that's out of balance or maybe a bent wheel. I don't know what the deal is with it. I hope they figure it out while it's in service, along with about the 50 other problems that car has. But you get up to 55 miles an hour, that thing just starts vibrating. By 75 or 80, almost unbearable. The ride quality is actually pretty good. I do miss my air-conditioned seats. This one does not have that. But the ride quality itself is actually pretty good. And again, it's better than my Plaid simply because I'm not sitting here going, bah, vibrating around as I'm going down the road. And I'm cruising 70 miles an hour right now. It is super smooth. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing all of the rattling noises that I was hearing when I first got this car and started driving. And it was from the very back, loads of rattling noises. I'm wondering if by opening and closing, there was some. But I mean, that I could live with. But I wonder if opening and closing those things in the back and lifting up the seats after putting them down, maybe, I don't know, put something back into place that was not in place. Because this thing was, it was rough, guys. I am one of those people that's kind of OCD about noises, squeaks, clunks, or vibrations. Like, I want a quiet, smooth, comfortable ride. I don't care what I'm driving. I expect a car to just be smooth, quiet, and relatively comfortable, especially if you're looking into the six-figure price range for a vehicle. So I actually feel like I like this a lot more now than I did when I first got it, because I was determined I was going to make a video just totally trashing the Model Y. The only thing I can still say negative about it really is it's shaped like a freaking egg. It just looks really, really weird. It's too narrow and it's too tall. Nobody needs this much headroom, guys. I'm 6 foot tall. Let me spin you around real quick. Okay, I've got the front seat sitting up kind of high because I like to sit up high and see everything in front of it. But I mean, Really? Nobody, you don't need that much headroom. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. We'll do a little acceleration pull as soon as we turn around. I'm kind of curious. It's not a performance model or anything like that. It's just your kind of run-of-the-mill Model Y, and obviously at 75,000 miles, she's probably on limited time being used as a loaner car through Tesla. I would imagine here in the very near future, this thing's probably going to be offloaded. This one is a little too rough for me. It's got too many dings and paint nicks and scuffs on the wheels, and it's obviously not been cared for. And again, I treat other people's cars with respect. You know, I would treat them the same way or better as I treat my own vehicles, just out of respect. You know, it doesn't matter if it's like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, if it's Tesla, or if it's, you know, somebody from Turo. It just doesn't matter. You just don't treat people's cars badly. Now, with that said, I know some of you are going to say, but if you're about to do a pull, that's not treating somebody's car with respect. Well, yes, it is. Come on now, guys. You think people don't floor their cars or do acceleration tests on them? We're going to come to a complete stop. All right? Ready, set, go. That's not impressive. I mean, not bad. It's not bad. Come on, man. Speed limited. All right. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot about Tesla, is the loaner car's speed limit. So you can't go too fast. I mean, it's decent. The 0 to 60 is, you know, I don't know. It didn't feel particularly impressive after the Model 3 Performance, which did 0 to 60 in 3.1, and my Plaid that does 0 to 60 in 1.99. I would guess, by the seat of my pants, this thing probably did 0 to 60 in, I don't know, I'd guess about 4.3 seconds, maybe 4.5 seconds would be my guess. No prep, we're just on a regular road. It's a nice hot Oklahoma day, 90 degrees. I don't know, it's enough is what I'm trying to say. These Model Ys are not super expensive, especially if you buy one used. You can get them for a pretty good deal, man. And for just getting around, being able to merge on the highway and get going, man, it definitely does that. And I'm gonna slow it down to like a regular pace. Let's say we're going 60. All right, and let's just hit the throttle. All right, hold on. Let me get it back up to 60. That's close enough. All right, ready? Let's hit it. Yeah, she is plenty quick. Not quick enough for me. I gotta have that performance. You know, I gotta have that. When you hit it, I want to be really pushed back in my seat. But for a nice commuter car that has a lot of headroom, I'm just not gonna get over that. Lots of headroom, not very wide, but you get tons of headroom in case you want to stack stuff up really, really high, or if you wanted to put a bed in the back and sleep in it. You've definitely got plenty of room to do that, but I don't think that's what most people are looking for. So again, if any of you out there own a Model Y, and you could explain to me why you picked it over a Model 3 or a Model S or a Model X. Obviously, the Model 3 is going to be quite a bit smaller than that, so I can understand you wanted more room, but the room in this seems like it's just in height. It may be a little bit longer, I suppose, than a Model 3, but it's just, I would think you would go from a Model 3 to a Model S or a Model X. I just don't understand where the Model Y fits into this equation. It just doesn't make sense to me, other than it is more expensive than a Model 3, but it is cheaper than a Model X. So I guess it does fill a financial gap there, but I'd rather just have the Model X than the Model Y. I don't get it. And I don't have to get it. It's not my car. I'm just borrowing it. In fact, they let me pick what I wanted to take out this time because I've become such a regular customer over at the Tesla Service Center lately. They've been spending a lot of money with them. They were like, hey, what do you want to take out for a drive? And I said, you know what? I have yet to drive a Model Y, And I really want to take one out and give it a fair shakedown, you know, a fair comparison, and just see what I think about it. And they said, absolutely. They pulled one up for me, and here we are. And I know what you're thinking. What about a Cybertruck? No, they don't loan out the Cybertruck, guys. And you know what else they didn't offer me? They didn't offer me a Model X either. No Model X, no Cybertruck. You get a Model 3 or a Model Y. That's it, guys. Anyway, you know, for what it is, not a bad vehicle. It's just not my personal taste. I've also found it's very difficult for me to get used to driving one of these older Teslas after getting used to my Plaid. Yes, the yoke, you get used to it. All right. And it's not that big a deal to go back to a steering wheel where you got your hand up top. Obviously, you can't do this on anything with a yoke because there is no top. You get used to that, and vice versa. If you go back to a regular steering wheel, you get used to that as well. But on mine, all your buttons for everything, windshield wipers, horn, turn signals, it's all right here. And on this, the turn signals are here, wipers are here. Over here, you got to do this to drive. You got to push it down, push it up. To turn on the full self-driving, you got to single or double tap it down while you're driving. On mine, it's just a swipe up or a swipe down, but it has predictive, I guess, forward and reverse. So it pretty well knows when I push the brake what direction I want to go. So most of the time, I don't even have to swipe forward or backward. The car just does it. It's so much more streamlined than this. This really takes you back to old school where you actually had stalks and things. And these controls, they control different things than they do on mine. So it's a whole different scenario. And then not having wireless charging like built in, that is just on such a sophisticated piece of equipment. That is kind of unbelievable to me, guys. Again, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's wireless charging. Something that simple should be, you know, included, and you shouldn't have to plug in these wires. So I guess my other question is, these are actually plugged in, and look, this hits. It doesn't even clear. If these are plugged in, and it's warm on the back, like something is working, then does this padding, I guess that padding does not come off. Why doesn't the wireless charging work? It doesn't make any sense at all. Works on every other car that I have with wireless charging. This phone, this case, it all works just fine. It's an iPhone 16 Pro Max, not a problem. But in this particular one, nope, not gonna fly. I don't know. For a nice little daily driver, this would be fine for me. I'd have no problem with it. The range, I'd like a little bit more. As most of you know, when I take a road trip, I like to go kind of far. My uncle's house is in Terre Haute, Indiana, and from here, guys, it's close to 700 miles away. So, you know, 260, 280 miles from this, it would make going those long distances a little more cumbersome, but it's absolutely doable. I've done it before in a Model S P85. Thank you. That was, I swear it wasn't me. It's the damn car. Anyway, I did it before with a car that got about 180 to 200 miles of range, and you can absolutely do it, but it put me about 3 hours behind when my buddy got there in a different car, you know, a gas-powered car. So now that I've got the Plaid that gets close to 400 miles of range, that changes the game. Not only does it get much further range, but I also charge a ton faster. So I think we've kind of evened the score, but maybe it's just because this one is a little bit older. Let's double check the date on this, the manufacture date. This is, this is a 21, guys. I thought it was a 2020. This is a 2021. October of 2020 is a 20. That's crazy. It just seems to be lacking so many features that I've kind of grown accustomed to in my Model S, and I'm surprised. But with that said, obviously a Model S is going to be a little more expensive. Anyway, that's going to be it. Just a short video doing an honest review of a Tesla Model Y. And let me just show you guys. I'm standing next to it. All right, let's try to get right in the middle. So I am 5'11 and a half, just under 6 foot tall. It keeps farting. Okay, thank you. You can see, this really is, from the ground up, this thing is tall. And it's pretty high off the ground. Look at the wheel arches too. Look how much gap you've got here. Definitely more versatile than a Model S. However, I think if you go into the suspension settings on a Model S and you raise it up, I think you could probably get pretty close to the same ground clearance as you're getting out of this. Next, does this have adaptive suspension? I am a little curious about that as well. Let's go to dynamics. Oh, this doesn't... Oh, is this just strut and spring? This doesn't have, like, air suspension? No way. Yeah. We don't have suspension settings. You can choose the steering wheel weight and your creep mode, chill, standard. That's it. No kidding. Whoa. What happened? Great. What did I just do? Did I turn the headlights on? Well, I've screwed this all up now. Perfect. Anyway, no suspension settings. So if we look down in here, I'm assuming we're going to find some struts. Ugh. I'm going to have to get you guys in here. What do you see? Coils? Old school? Thank you again. Good God. Forgive me. I fed the car Taco Bell for lunch, all right? What do you guys think of the Model Y? I still don't particularly like it. It's all right, but for me, this wouldn't be something I would pick. But maybe it'd be something you guys would be interested in. With that, I'm going to call this video a wrap, and I am going to head home. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.